Me wife! Hey! Hey! Damn, gang, you was drinking like that? And I gotta put your blood in this time cap? What the fuck? Oh, it got mode on. All right, cool, cause I ain't trying to see no dead people. Autopsy Simulator. First person horror sim hybrid where players take on the role of a practiced pathologist and study case files. How is it a hybrid? So it's like partially like realistic, and the other side of it is you just want to fuck with us. Thank you. That's exactly what we needed. Just like mortuary assistant, where you're doing your shit, and then all of a sudden you got the hobgoblin and the green goblin just coming at you. It was scary as hell. I enjoyed it. I'd never played it again after the first time I beat the game. Seeing this game in front of me, man, I'm telling you right now, it just brings back like these weird memories that I have. Listen, if y'all didn't know, I worked at a hospital for like 8 years and resigned back in 2020 when had really just went crazy in New York, man, and just all over the world. I had resigned from my job because it was getting a little too scary out there. I'm sorry. But prior to that, I worked as an emergency room technician for the psychiatric ward. And like probably for like 6 months to 8 months, I was doing security when I first entered the hospital. During that time, for training, I was eating a sandwich during training. We went into a certain room and they called it the cadaver room. I didn't know what that was at the time. I didn't know what the fuck a cadaver was. I thought it was some magician shit. What the? So I leaned on it, eating a sandwich, and I heard little drops of liquid. And I looked and said, what the fuck is that? And why is there like it looked like purple jeans, like a purple jeans tag. He said, no, it's a toe tag. I said, toe tag to what? I lifted up and it was a fucking rubbery ass old man. They had embalmed his shit. I said, oh, what the fuck? And I vomited. And later on, they had me doing a bunch of like escorts from certain departments with people who would pass away and bring them into like the morgue. And there would be this guy who's writing in his book details of everything that he's doing to these specific bodies. And I was just like, what the fuck? And I'm looking at the bodies. Some of them were like, hey, some of them were like, hey, and some of them was like, who? And I was just like, oh my God, I'm seeing this shit. It really fucked me up. So we're about to dive into Autopsy Simulator, and we're gonna see what the fuck we get ourselves into. Thank y'all for an early code. Y'all trying to get me out the paint. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and give this game a try. The story mode takes place in 1991, it seems. Oh my goodness, man. I don't know what to expect. I'm tripping over here, y'all. I'm tripping.
Office of the Medical Examiner, Beatsville. Dr. Jack Hadman is speaking. How can I help you?
Good evening, this is Kate Brooks. I'm not sure if you remember me. A few weeks ago, we talked about an article I'm working on. It's about your wife. I dropped by last Friday to speak to you, but you weren't working at the time. I asked the security guard to pass on a note for me. I would like us to discuss the topic of...
I thought I had made it painfully obvious for the last time. No! Please don't call me again and stop inquiring about my wife. Damn journalists. They don't let me work. God damn it. I'm not in the best frame of mind to record a lecture for my students now. I'm feeling...
His wife?
Completely broken.
Oh, fuck.
I leave my meds this time.
All right, self-therapy. Check the bathroom for your pills. Let me get this. Oh, fuck. Oh, man, hold on. Anything in there? No. I know it said bathroom. I'm just making sure. Wait, Jack Daniels. Hold on, that's not Jack Daniels. That shit says John Damien. That shit crazy. That's like, instead of Jordan, there was a company named Jordache. Yo, that shit was crazy. All right.
Awful. It would be good if I guess it was in another life.
Oh shit, let me see his wife.
It was in another life.
Now she was bad as fuck. Normally, you would think it's rest in peace, but if she was toxic, she gonna haunt his ass in this game. All right.
Stephen didn't clean up after himself.
Let me go to the bathroom, bro. Ooh, there's no other employee. Ooh, that shit lag. There's no other employees that work here? It's just me. It's me. It's DDP. All right, hold on. Out of order. Oh, hell no.
Okay, time to pull myself together. And get back to work.
Y'all ain't gonna lie. There's no reason why.
I need to set the camera first.
Bitch. Take the camera from the store. Oh my god. There's no reason why. There's no reason why. Man, this is actually scaring me. Hold on, let me see.
This place is starting to look. Now remember, Jack. Don't forget. Hit the record button this time.
Place it on a tripod in the dissecting room. Dissecting room.
Hopefully the new tripod is going to hold up.
Ooh, what the fuck? Oh, it got nudity mode on. All right, cool, cause I ain't trying to see no dead penises and titties. I ain't gonna lie. Remember the Bad Boys movie? That dead shorty has some big titties.
I just have to get everything in frame.
Cadaver, you
This
see?
should be fine. November 20th, 1991. Time, 8:43 p.m. Recording for medical students from the University of Missouri. This autopsy is conducted by Jack Hanman. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the autopsy room. Today, you will have the dubious pleasure of following a full autopsy, step by step. For those of you who have already performed your first autopsy, this will refresh your basic knowledge. In turn, for those whose knowledge is only theoretical, I advise not to watch this after a meal.
Oh, I made sure I ate before I played this game. I'm telling y'all right now. So, for one, you could tell his body build was nasty. Two, I want to know the cause of death. So, where the papers at? You see? Click B. By the way, there might be some bugs with this because I got a copy early. Just don't worry. It's all good. Shit dead in the water. No pun intended. See?
I wasn't sure it would amount to anything, but the World Wide Web has been a blessing for speeding up my work. Some of my previous cases, a reminder of more prosperous times.
All right. Take a look at the chalkboard. All right, give me a second. I'm just looking at some stuff, man. Oh, hell nah, bro.
Scalpel, scissors, syringe, magnifying glass, knife. I guess I forgot to clean the knife.
Toby Chambers. Is this the chalkboard?
Let's start.
So one
Always wear
is...
an apron, mask, and gloves. Goggles are a must when the job is splashy. And in case of sharp accidents, it's worth having disinfectants at hand. It's true that you won't get ptomaine poisoning straight away, but if your liver or kidney aren't doing well, you may end up with diarrhea. The cadaver is placed on its back on the autopsy table. The pathologist stands on the right of the deceased. Make sure that all the necessary tools are always at hand so that you don't have to run around looking for something, like I do all the time.
Yo, that was the scariest thing working in security, and and my shift used to be 3 to 11 p.m. And around like 10 something p.m., they would have me go lock up the morgue. Why would you have me go in there and lock up the morgue? Come on, man. That shit crazy, bro.
In the process of revealing and securing forensic evidence, it is difficult not to interfere with the original condition of the deceased. Written and photographic documentation plays a vital role throughout the entire examination process. During your research, be patient, inquisitive, but above all, attentive to detail. Many entries are visible at first glance, but sometimes
Smell like
they
death.
can be cover for more interesting stories. And lastly, remember that nothing teaches you self-narration like working with the dead. So get used to that fact soon. Everyone will think you're talking to yourself.
Nah,
now,
we do.
on to the police folder. That will contain all sorts of pertinent information as to who the deceased might be and what potentially happened to them. So, let's take a closer look, shall we?
Now, I will be honest, the narration in this game is top tier. I like this guy's. I'm taking long. Anyways.
The deceased's name is Tobias Chambers, locally known as Old Toby. Homeless and unemployed for at least a couple of years. The deceased was found on the outskirts of a parking lot at a gas station.
Okay.
Where he often begged and persistently offered drivers to wash their car windows.
All right, a little too accurate.
The body was noticed by a station employee during the morning shift. Initially, he thought that someone had thrown some boots and a coat in a nearby ditch. It took him a moment to recognize the pile of clothes as the body of a man. He worked most of his life at the local port dealing with unloaded cargo. He was fired for being drunk and starting fights. His son runs a hardware store on his own. His wife left him years ago. They both had no contact with the deceased.
Wow.
Signs of libation were found around the body. Empty bottles, traces of an inept attempt to start a fire, and a scattered makeshift blanket. That's it. It's worth remembering the context around the scene of a death. This allows you to better interpret any traces found on the body. I shouldn't start the procedure without gloves.
Oh, where the gloves at, B? All right. That's actually the cabinet. The gloves should be, oh, look, right here. Aren't these gloves? Want some protective gloves? I got some gloves. Oh, okay.
Now it's our turn to take some pictures for our files. If I can just remember where I left the camera. It's in here somewhere. Aha! There you are. I knew it was
Oh, the
here somewhere.
Fuji camera? That's the Instagram shit, man.
As I mentioned at the beginning, before we begin the internal examination, we need to document the cadaver and the condition it arrived in. We begin with a full body photo. Try and stick to the top-down rule, but this is not always possible. Let's keep in mind it's all about the legibility, not the perfect frame.
All right.
Voila. Now we move on to the next step, looking for traces. Take your time. Look at the corpse from different sides, from different angles, up close, and from a distance. You're looking for anything out of the ordinary.
This is file marks on the body. No, there was one right here. Wait, can I not take a picture?
That's something interesting. It will be necessary to check whether this injury was severe enough to cause damage to the brain.
All right, next. Yo, that feet
Some
is
wounds to the
nasty.
feet and signs of frostbite, probably because the subject's shoes were too small.
Ew, is that his arse? Oh, he had a knee. No. Oh, right there.
The boiler yield wound looks old. I'll take a closer look later. In a moment, we will check which of our initial observations will be worthy of further consideration. But before we get to that, I need to write down some basic data.
All right, where the book at to right? Perform the autopsy.
Scalpel, scissors, syringe, magnifying glass, knife.
Ooh,
I
we're
guess
here.
we'll have to clean the
We're about to
knife.
do it.
Personal information.
Oh, I gotta clean that knife. Hold on.
Date. Okay. As you can see, I note everything down on previously prepared forms. Every pathologist must keep a detailed record of every step of the autopsy. This not only allows you to track the procedure, but also collates the results together, upon which you may back up your conclusions. So, enough of the boring prep. Let's begin by taking a closer look at the spots I photographed earlier. For this, you're going to need a magnifying glass.
I can't watch this shit. Hold on.
Scalpel, scissor. I guess I forgot to clean the knife.
Y'all, so I can't clean the shit.
It's been a while since the eye wash in this thing was changed. It's probably a health hazard now.
I can't wash the shit. We gotta use dirt. We gotta use dirty utensils on this bitch.
My old but trusted centrifuge. Ideal for all the fluid tests I need to perform during an autopsy.
The areas of concern with a magnifying glass? Bruh, I don't want to inspect you, dude, until I clean your shit.
Scalpel, scissors, syringe, magnifying glass, knife. I guess I forgot to clean the knife.
Yo, whatever, bro.
Which spot first? It looks like a burn mark. No doubt
Yeah.
painful, but it's not pertinent for this case.
That shit like Kratos' scars. Ain't gonna lie. Oh, hell no.
Definitely a painful mix of frostbite, abrasions, and blisters. Old Toby had been wearing shoes too small for him for a very long time.
You know when you meet a shorty? Oh,
That's if he wore any at all.
you know when you meet a shorty at a spot and you hear them say, "Ah, my feet hurt," or like you got a freaky ass chick and she wants you to suck her feet. It be the ones with these type of toes, bro. I swear to God, I will never tell a lie to y'all. I will never lie to y'all.
Here we can
Nasty
see frostbite
feet.
on the fingertips. We can tell by the characteristic skin color.
That's nasty too. Them chicks be having survivor's feet.
I can confirm the presence of ecchymosis on the deceased man's head. The appearance indicates the intravital nature of the wound. Add alcohol, which I can clearly smell, and this was an accident just waiting to happen. So far, there are a lot of superficial wounds, but only one serious injury to the head. Let's go back to our notes.
All right, go back to the no board, baby. All right, highlight the previously found wounds on the clipboard mannequin. On the clipboard mannequin. Where the clipboard at? Should be around here. I'm a little slow, so hold on. Let me. All right, his shift.
First, I mark the location of the injuries and make the head wound. Definitely an important clue. This is something we'll investigate first. Even though this type of wound didn't contribute to the deceased's death, we're still required to record it. We're not in frost season yet, but high humidity, wind, and the inability to warm up can also be causes of frostbite.
Really?
If Toby's body was cold for a prolonged period, the frostbite could have resulted from the body's defense reaction. The safety of the internal organs is more important than fingers, nose, or ears. As you can see, we don't have much to go on. Let's write down what preliminary causes of death we can think of.
Let me see. All right. Highlight and consider each wound. From the marks and wounds section.
Various types of accidents are a common cause of death among the homeless and the elderly. Perhaps old Toby slipped and accidentally hit his head. This is of no interest.
Wasn't
to
he
us.
naked?
Considering the conditions in which he slept, his body may have become hypothermic. The nights have been particularly nasty lately. We will check if there are any signs of freezing internally. Since the deceased clearly smelled of alcohol, I'll add alcohol poisoning to our list.
Put down the clipboard and continue the autopsy.
We still have one thing left from the basics. Rigor mortis.
Perform a rigor mortis examination.
Well, we take our deceased by the hand. Gradually we raise it.
Oh. What the hell?
Now let it go. As you can see, the hand falls loose. What's the conclusion? Death must have occurred more than 72 hours ago. The police information appears correct.
Damn. Yeah, how the fuck you determine that shit?
Seems the most promising, so we'll start there. For this, I need an oscillating saw.
What the hell? So I didn't even know that's how that works. Like, I never really wanted to stay there and watch an examination. I got in and got the fuck out. I'm sorry. I had to wrap up bodies and everything too, man, and zip them up and make sure that they toes was in the bag. It was really fucked up shit. It was really sad stuff.
Scalpel, scissors, syringe.
All right, so hold on.
Gas,
Select the skull.
I guess I forgot to clean the knife.
All right, tab. Oh my God, we're about to open this shit up. Ooh, You don't want to spill it. You got to do it right.
After which, we remove the skin and the top of the skull. After the basic examination, we can see that the brain's cerebral gyri in both hemispheres are symmetric. The brain looks good. Let's take a cross-section. Some pathologists prefer to examine organs without removing them. However, for me, it's much more convenient to examine
What
them
the
on
hell?
board, which we'll do now.
Leave the body? Oh my God. Motherfucker, half a head right now, B. Oh.
Holding a long, narrow blade knife in the dominant hand, we slowly cut the cranial nerves on both sides, all the time pulling the brain towards us.
All right, let's see. Hold on.
So far, so good. The hematoma seems to have had no effect on the brain.
It's like cheesecake. Or half a potato. I'm good. Return to the body. So he got his ass
We can rule
whooped.
the fatal accident out as well.
Honestly, must have died of alcohol poisoning or something, or whatever the case is. Exclude fall as potential cause of death. All right.
Brain is in good condition, so we have no choice but to proceed to the internal examination of the other organs.
They forgot, like, homeless people, part of that package is bruise marks and dirty fingertips. So
I grab a scalpel from my kit.
we see the tools.
The incision
Scalpels?
should be in the shape of a letter Y.
Ooh, this is about to get crazy.
We use a deep cut to reach all the way to the ribs and to penetrate the abdominal wall.
Oh my God, the sound is nasty. Can I cut anywhere else? Can I cut his pee-pee off? All right, never mind. Let me stop trolling.
All right, now we peel back and separate the skin.
With an empty hand. Oh.
Now, we need to remove the
Whoa.
ribs. We'll need the loppers for this.
Whoa.
Quite a satisfying crunch, for some anyway. After removing the cartilage tissue, we instantly notice two things. Firstly, there is no congestion of the internal organs. This means that although the deceased was hypothermic, it didn't kill him. Secondly, the deceased smoked like a chimney. So, we should take a closer look at those lungs.
Begin a thorough lung analysis by examining the organ. Tools. Hold on.
We can see widespread black and tar. Despite the tragic condition of the lungs, they are not the cause of death. Alice smoked too. It didn't kill her, but... what was I talking about?
Wow.
Lungs. Yeah,
He's
yes.
tripping.
Advanced inflammation.
He's tripping. Mark the damage, lung thing. Damn, bitch. Lung extensive black-gray deposits, visible inflammatory changes, and excessive distension. Oh, lung tissue. All right. Caused by smoking mad cigar weed. All right. What's next? Let's see.
What now? The syringe. Now's a good time to collect some samples.
Are you all right, my guy? You're like tripping.
Specifically 3. From the eye, the heart, and the bladder. I'm interested to see the concentration of alcohol in the body.
All right.
From the bladder, we draw about 10 milliliters of fluid.
All right. Wait, hold on. Let me get the tools again. Let me grab this shit again. I'm fucking up. All right.
5 milliliters from the left ventricle should do it.
Okay.
Vitreous humor analysis is very useful in indicating long-term alcohol abuse. Now we
Okay.
take our samples to the centrifuge. But before I do that, I need to find my notebook. My dyscalculia means that I always double-check the settings. Please excuse me while I run and fetch it.
Okay, this is where shit about to get staticky. Retrieve a notebook from the office with the necessary values to run the cert. All right, this is when shit about.
This whole thing is covered in stains.
Oh fuck! I got a trophy for this. Hi, this is Kate Brooks. A report, bitch. I told you cannot take her.
They definitely pay me too little for this.
Use the center. Oh shit. Anybody outside? Oh hell no. I'm getting nervy. I'm getting nervous out here. You know, sometimes it ain't a bad thing.
Let's get back to the examination.
My man's just literally just opened up. All right. Let's use the centrifuge. We're gonna call it centrifuge, all right? Use the centrifuge. Let's go to tools. Where the centrifuge at? Oh. All right. I guess that's not it. Let me get out of this then. All right, centrifuge. I feel like it's yeah, this has got to be it.
We put all of the samples into the rotor.
Okay, place the samples.
Now
Okay.
we set the appropriate time and speed.
All right, set the correct values and dials and start mixing. How the hell am I supposed to know? All right, set the correct values and dials. Oh, there we go. 15 minutes and speed is 70%. Presence of alcohol in the blood. Let's see. All right, bet. Speed.
Okay, let's roll.
Damn, gang, you was drinking like that? And I gotta put your blood in this fucking time cap?
Shit.
What the fuck?
Excuses again.
No, sir. Hey.
Where were we? Oh yes, the blood alcohol concentration.
Hell no.
Let's see what we've got here. Everything's separated as it should. Our lab is closed until tomorrow after the last, incident. However, considering that Toby's favorite eau de parfum appears to be ethanol, I'm guessing the results won't surprise me at all. Let's go further. We will now focus on the cardiovascular system, specifically the heart.
Hold the fuck up. What incident happened? Did you do an autopsy on your wife?
We remove the organ and examine it closely. We look for dark hypoxic areas, clots, or other elements that stand out as abnormal. At first glance, the heart looks fine. The pulmonary trunk and aorta seem to be in good condition. There are no pathological changes that would have contributed to Toby's death.
Okay.
Now let's take a closer look at the stomach. Size is normal, healthy, pink color.
That shit like a fucking bean.
And as expected, the stomach has no major external damage. We must now cut it open and inspect inside. We will do it carefully so that its contents do not spill out.
Yeah, 'cause you already know what's in that shit.
We open the stomach along the greater curvature.
Oh, this is gonna be
from the
crazy,
heart
bro.
to the pyloric end.
All right, hold on.
Oh, I already feel like there's something left inside.
Yeah, yo, man. Like chicken bones and shit. And people. Hold on. Oh my fucking goodness. And a fucking bunch of dookie. You know when you know what I'm saying? Like when you die, you be backed up and shit. You be having mad doodle tissues in your shit. Hold on.
Okay, large amount of gas. Small amounts of yellow, grayish food content.
I told you.
Like some kind of meat. Either our deceased hadn't eaten in
I
days,
told you.
or the bulk of his stomach had already found a way out. Looks like I'll have to find the missing contents. There are two ways here. One is obvious, and the other is... It couldn't have been suffocation, could it? At first glance, the trachea looks normal.
Is that how it's supposed to look?
Same result as with the stomach. The external inspection doesn't tell us anything. This time we'll cut on a tray.
All right, hold on.
Such a small organ as the trachea, we must make a precise incision.
Oh man, this is real deal Holyfield shit. Dissect the trachea on the metal tray.
To be able to cut with the very tip of the blade, we must hold the scalpel as we would a pen. And after careful examination and deduction, we've got it. A clogged trachea. It's time to summarize the whole thing.
Turn to the autopsy. Damn, gang. Your trachea was clogged
Based
out
on the
like that?
report and preliminary documentation, it's safe to assume that the deceased passed out after consumption of alcohol and then fell asleep on his back. Then, the gastric contents refluxed and flooded the airways, causing death.
Ooh, that's some scary shit.
That's why we don't forget about the recovery position at dorm parties.
That was a dark humor joke. I ain't gonna lie, that's fucking nasty, yo. Decide the appropriate manner of death. Asphyxiation. Action. Homicide, accident.
And now it's all clear. The death was suffocation. Now, signature.
Write your signature.
The
She.
mystery is solved. But for us, this is not the end. First, the dead body needs to be cleaned up.
Three mega groins. Type shit.
For this, we will need to close the body and grab the needle. First, we unroll the skin flaps.
Yeah, close this shit up. That shit look nasty today. All right.
And then, we sew the I'm using the baseball stitch technique. This stitching method is very strong and quick to do.
All right, so we're gonna stitch his ass up, I guess. This is actually disturbing because now the way he did it, I'm not gonna say it's accurate, but just I've seen bodies that are stitched like this.
Beautiful.
Yo, his pupils. Why is he perfectly shaved up? Oh, little dark pieces down there.
Now we say goodbye to the deceased and put them safely in the fridge, ready for the next stage of their journey.
Place the body. And I hope you're okay, brother. God rest your soul. Oh! What the fuck?
God, I'm tired. I'll drop these samples off at the lab on the way to the bar.
Head to your car in the parking lot. We not gonna clean shit? We one real dirty motherfucker, I'll tell you that.
I'll call Steven. I don't feel like drinking alone today.
What the fuck? When the fuck did it just turn into a horror game? Is that my wife? He's telling me something. Where the fuck am I? Is this the hybrid? Me wife! Ay! 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 Help me! Help me! Now that's the prologue to the game. We have chapter 1. Yo, this game turned into like a horror movie all of a sudden. But this is gonna be an interesting one. I would love to finish this. Probably gonna be a quick little playthrough. It's not gonna be that long. Y'all know this. If y'all want to see me finish this, let me know. If I'm not mistaken, I know it has its own like chapter, but if I'm not mistaken, I think you can just play, or they will just have a side of just you doing autopsies and stuff like that without the horror stuff. I believe they did announce this. I don't know if it's day 1 or because this is story mode. So maybe I'm just blind to the shit and I don't know where it's at. But best believe we're gonna definitely be doing both. I want to say I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Why this music is hitting mad crazy in my eardrums. I love y'all. If y'all want to see more, let me know in the comment section below. I'm out of here. It's your boy 3NG. Peace. We did the YMCA on that motherfucking chest. All right, I'm out. Bye.